a reconciliation committee to reach out to you and Peter Obi and others. We were told that some of the governors tried to see you today and then you turned them back. I just want to find out if that is true. So those are my two questions. Thank you very much.
Oh, sorry, please.
Sorry.
Can you repeat them?
You need to repeat the question.
So two questions again. First of all, I wanted to know if you're saying you are going to court, challenge the result. And let me even add this. Are you challenging the entire conduct of the election or just certain states? If it's just certain states, we would like to know the ones that you have problems with. And then thirdly, Governor Akeredolu said today that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu had set up a reconciliation committee to reach out to you and Governor Peter Obi of Labour Party. We were told that some of the governors tried to see you today and you turned them back. Just want to find out if that is true or if it's fake news. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Let me respond to the second question, Tinubu's overtures. I'm really not aware. And I was at home throughout today, so I'm not aware if any governor tried to see me. On the issue of court, of course, our lawyers are studying the results, of the election, and we await for their advice. So whatever they advise, then the party will meet, and then we decide the next line of action. Thank you.
Yes. Yeah, you, Leon from Tribune. You can speak from there. Give him the mic, please.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, sir, the performance of the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, would appear to confirm earlier permutation that he would draw votes from you. Looking at the outcome of the election with the benefit of hindsight, do you regret the fact that you could not work together under a single platform? And secondly, I'm also wondering about your thoughts on the perception that the PDP seems to be in trouble today because of your insistence on a contesting election at a time there was the clamor for a southern presidential candidate. What do you have to say, sir? Thank you.
We're taking the very last question. Yes.
Thank you. Your Excellency, sir, my name is Tony Aileme. I write for Business Day newspaper. Over the years, we have known how you had used the judiciary to change the course of so many issues across the country. But right now, Nigerians are wondering that the current judiciary that we have, there are issues around credibility. I don't know if you also believe that pursuing this course, you are likely to get justice from the system as it is right now. Or do you have any doubt? Are there issues that you want to consider around the judiciary, sir? Thank you.
Thank you. That's the end of the question series. Now we will call on the presidential candidates to respond accordingly. Thank you.
Well, first and foremost, about the Labour Party, whether at the time Peter decided to leave PDP and join Labour Party, we had not, I believe, begun our primary process. So the question of whether he was going to get a ticket or not, did not arise. Yes, agreed, that is a fact. He took our votes from the southeast and south-south. And that of course would not make him a president. Absolutely not. You all know that to be a president in this country, you need votes from everywhere. So as far as I'm concerned, Peter is welcome to dialogue with PDP. We are ready to dialogue with him. So I don't think we will have any problem if he wants to dialogue with PDP and either form an alliance or not. But I also want you to recall that I was the first candidate to say that because of the way Nigeria has been governed in the last 7 to 8 years, there has been deep divisions between North and South, East and West. And I said to Nigerians, if I happen to be elected president, the first thing I will do is to form a government of national unity. What do I mean by that? I mean, I will look at the performance of each political party and bring them into the government so that first and foremost, we reunify this country and bring about peace and stability. It is only when you do that, then you will be able to start developing the country, whether economically or otherwise. You cannot develop a country that is deeply divided, that is in crisis. So I was the first to commit to the formation of government of national unity. And I also have it on record that when I ran in 2019, I picked an Igbo man as a running mate, simply because I felt that after any other zone again, the next zone must be the Southeast. In 2011, I also picked another Igbo man. And in 2023, I also picked another Igbo man. And I have always said that I will be a stepping stone to an Igbo presidency. Because there is no zone alone in this country that can produce a president on its own. I have always told my Igbo compatriots, I said, look, you negotiate for power. You don't fight for it. You negotiate for it. So, for anybody to think, that I have anything against Labour, I think Peter was in a rush. Do you know why I say he was in a rush? When the campaign started, and our PDP governors sat down and said they must produce the president amongst them. They must produce a vice president amongst them. They must produce a chief of staff amongst them. Peter got scared and left. I did not get scared. I stood up against the governors. When we formed this PDP, some of them perhaps were in secondary school or in university. So why should I be afraid? So I stood up and I fought them. They fought me, yes, and I fought them. And I won the primaries. So if he was there, nothing could have stopped him from becoming, a running mate. Because I had the right to choose whoever I wanted, as my running mate. So the question of whether I will work with Peter or not, whether Peter wounded PDP? Yes, to some extent he did, because all the votes he carried, there are PDP votes in the south, and the southeast. So that's true, but that's politics anyway. But whether he will achieve his objective, by that or not, that is left to God to decide. So the next is the issue of judiciary. For those of you who don't read, because I know you young people now, it's only computer on the phone, everything you need. You don't read textbooks. You must remember that I took my boss, a sitting president, to court 11 times. 11 times, from trial court up to Supreme Court. I swear, if there is a Quran here, I swear I never saw any judge from the trial court up to the Supreme Court. And yet I got judgments against a sitting president. Do you think it is possible today to do it? But let us tell ourselves the truth, manner. "11 times from trial court up to Supreme Court. Wallahi, I never saw a single judge. I got judgment at the trial court, I got judgment at the appeal court, and I got judgment at the Supreme Court. That's why I said, how will I do this? That's why I decided to publish a book called Landmark Constitutional Cases, the Atiku Abubakar cases, for those constitutional law students. So, I cannot say whether it is the same judiciary or not until I test them. Yeah. So, I hope I have answered all your questions. Dino has already overruled me. He said one more question. Is that true?
Yes, sir. They're directed for 2 more questions because you're a Democrat and you want to make sure everything is exhausted. So I've been directed to take 2 more questions for you, if any. If he has addressed what you want to ask, there's no need, please. Okay. Yes. Okay, this one will be the last one indeed.
A very good evening, Your Excellency. All protocols duly observed. My name is Atiku Tokuranuke from Silverbird News 24. You spoke about the judiciary, comparing it as before. So what if you seek redress and at the end of the day you're not given fair judgment? What next would you do?
Like I said, that's the last question. Your Excellency, sir.
Well, what can I do if I don't get a favorable judgment at the apex court? I appeal to God.
That's a good one. PDP! Power to the people! To this great phenomenon, great Democrat, Nigeria, please a round of applause for the people's president, the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. While we're doing this national anthem, please, as we bring this to a close.
Thanks for checking out SYMFONI on YouTube. Please be sure to subscribe and like our videos for updates.